There is Iulia GUTA, 18 years of age, comes to the boxing ring with consecutive national youth titles under her belt in 2020 and 2019. Took the light welterweight title at 64 kilograms last year, and in 2019 was the welterweight champion. She participated in the European Youth Championships. Her opponent in the blue corner, Wkitoria TERESZCZAK, is the 2020 national youth champion here in Poland in the 64 kilogram light welterweight division. Second bout of the tournament for both of these boxers. It was a unanimous point decision win over Nina Radenovic of Montenegro, as Ravi Rai from Scotland, the referee, checks the equipment. GUTA demonstrating hard punches during the course of that contest. And it was a unanimous points verdict for TERESZCZAK over Kristina Vaklavikova. Bring her through to the final 8 of this light welterweight tournament.
Round 1.
So we're underway then. Quarter-final action in the women's 64 kilogram light welterweight division. And on the back foot is Iulia GUTA, but she's spearing out stiff, straight punches, trying to neutralize the aggression of TERESZCZAK, who's looking to walk her down. And look at these exchanges to both body and head in the opening 30 seconds of this bout. Cracking right hand off the back foot from GUTA. TERESZCZAK continuing to look to mow down her opponent. But GUTA, look at that right hand cocked, and she brings it through, partially blocked, but it's certainly heavy, the backhand that she possesses, as I alluded to in her previous contest. She's trying to turn it around the corner now, catching TERESZCZAK as she was looking to unload with her own straight punches. GUTA really planting her feet into the canvas and getting leverage on her shots, particularly that backhand, continuing to bomb away with it. TERESZCZAK edging forwards behind her left jab. And GUTA, well, she's finding herself pinned to the ropes on just about all sides of the ring. She then goes downstairs to the body, and look at that jab between the high-held hands of the woman in blue. Well, that's an illegal tactic, of course. But if you're GUTA's team, I'm sure they're going to say, well, that's a jab. And she is pulling the trigger rather than using it just to hold out there like a broom handle. While the turtle shell defense being erected by TERESZCZAK is catching many of these shots on her gloves and forearms, but some of them are getting through. And perhaps as important as anything else, while she's tucking up and covering up, she's not able to land with her own offense. Same peekaboo defense being erected once again by TERESZCZAK. She then looks for a speculative right hand, gets through with the left hand, which was delivered rather incorrectly, as GUTA looking to continue to change the angles of delivery with her punches. Good work to the body from the woman in red, countered immediately by body shots from the woman in blue. And you see, that's a measuring jab for my money, trying to get it through the hands that are bracketing the head of TERESZCZAK. She continues to bomb away with the right hand, but many of the shots are being buffeted by effective defenses. Same tactic once again. She continues to hammer away, and that's smart boxing from GUTA, going down to the body. Well, she's spoken to about the shots being south of the border. Didn't appear to be so from my position, but the referee far closer than I. Boxing off the back foot still is GUTA, being put under pressure. There's the 10-second clapper. She lands a hard right hand with her back to the turnbuckle in the neutral corner, just above our commentary position. Right hand success from TERESZCZAK. Well, TERESZCZAK on the front foot for the entirety of that first 3 minutes, but she didn't really let her hands go with any consistent effect, and that is why she's conceded it 10-9. Well, excuse me. It was TERESZCZAK on the front foot, and she's been given it 10-9 across the board. So all of the judges favoring the work of the woman in blue. Effective peekaboo defense erected. And her aggression deemed to be effective against Iulia GUTA. So it's proving to be a clever tactic to tuck up tightly and walk her opponent down. Iulia GUTA continuing to try to pick off her opponent. And I thought between the shots that were blocked, she was able to have some success.
Round 2.
But she's conceded the opening round across the board, has GUTA, and she goes back to the same tactic immediately. Pecking and poking with that left hand, but some of those shots are scoring blows for my money. TERESZCZAK looking to walk down her opponent once again. She scores with a solid single left jab to back up GUTA looking to drop down with shots to the body. Hard left hand dug in from TERESZCZAK. But again, that's the perfect example of how these shots are being repelled. Defense proving to be very secure indeed for many of these punches that GUTA is letting fly. That blocked by the left glove, as was that one. And perhaps that is why the judges favored the work of TERESZCZAK in the opening round. There's an educated left hand from GUTA. So can GUTA find some accuracy to penetrate the defenses of TERESZCZAK, who continues to come forward behind high-held gloves, and then when she gets into her own punching territory, letting her hands go to both body and head. Good work to the body by both boxers. Again, how many of those were scoring shots? That left hand to the body appeared to be one. That right hand got behind the left glove of TERESZCZAK from GUTA. Well, it's going to be down to GUTA to find some variety here, some accuracy. Because look, it's the same thing once again. Was that final right-hander scoring shot? Seemed to be to me. But the preceding jabs are just being caught on the gloves. Was that a scoring shot with a looping roundhouse right? Solid right cross, the best shot of the entire contest, landed by TERESZCZAK, snapping the head back of GUTA. Good work to the body, perhaps straying low, but again, TERESZCZAK come forward with an eye-catching two-shot salvo. The right cross, pile driving its way through. Right hook landed on the inside, but then following through with the forearm was TERESZCZAK. Referee Ravi Rai on that infringement immediately. So the peekaboo defense being employed, proving to be unbreachable despite the volume of shots that GUTA is throwing. How many of them were scoring shots? And if the defenses are proving to be that effective, then this is a very clever display from TERESZCZAK. It's a brave display because she's keeping her composure with the bombs flying around her, and that is how she has taken 2 completed rounds with just 3 minutes to go. Don't think there's any doubt that GUTA is the busier boxer. But the shots continuing to bounce off gloves and forearms, and they are not scoring shots. But that right cross most certainly was. So what can GUTA do differently to try and breach this woman's defenses? I don't think there's any doubt about the punch output of Iulia GUTA, but she's got to find a way to get through the barricade that is being erected by TERESZCZAK.
Round 3.
So into the third and final round then, and the familiar posture adopted once again. TERESZCZAK with high-held hands, and that's good work from GUTA. She went down to the body to bring the hands down, and then she was able to score with a single shot to the head. But she needs a massive third and final round here. Good work to head and body from TERESZCZAK. And why GUTA needs a big third round is that she has conceded the first 2 rounds for all 5 scoring judges, down by 2 points with just 2.5 minutes to box now. Good work to the body by TERESZCZAK. GUTA nudging away with the left hand, but neither boxer working away in the final stages of that clinch. Nice check left hand landed by GUTA. Well, she's been continually attempting to knock on the door, has GUTA, leading with her left hand, firing away with her right. There's been a greater volume of shots now. For me, those got through the defenses of the woman in blue. But she really is doing a good job of tucking up tightly, and it's going to be down to GUTA to show some variety, some imagination, which she's done on occasion, but she hasn't been able to sustain it. With hands and elbows that high, the body is surely open to feast upon for GUTA, but she's continuing to headhunt as TERESZCZAK lands a good shot to the body. Here's a right hand, which is a scoring blow for GUTA. So beyond the midpoint of the third and final round, GUTA trying to find holes in the defense now. But you have to credit the composure of TERESZCZAK, who's remained cool under fire as she takes a solid left hand, comes forward and walks into a right hand, but gets through with a shot of her own. Left hand turned into the body. Exchange of shots with the action in the neutral corner. Good work to both body and head from the woman in blue. Greater variety required. More imagination in the work of GUTA, because she keeps continuing to just use sheer force to try and bring those arms down. But as long as they're being caught on the arms, they won't be deemed as scoring blows. Left hook misses and winds up over the top rope from TERESZCZAK. So closing seconds of the third and final round, TERESZCZAK driving her opponent backwards. And a very good round of boxing produced by the woman in blue. Clever display where she was able to repel most of the shots with a very secure set of defenses. GUTA landing heavy, clean punches on occasion. I thought some of them even breached the defenses of TERESZCZAK, but TERESZCZAK producing a performance which is going to take her through to the medal podium. Not able to produce the big round she needed. GUTA. It will be TERESZCZAK who progresses on a unanimous point.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this bout by unanimous decision is the boxer from the blue corner, Wkitoria Agnieszka TERESZCZAK, Poland.
So Wkitoria TERESZCZAK absolutely delighted. A very clever display indeed to take all three rounds for all five judges. There was plenty of industry from Iulia GUTA, but perhaps not the imagination required to breach the turtle shell defense that TERESZCZAK tucked up behind. She goes through to the medal stages here at her home championships, and she will face off against the 2020 European Youth Championship gold medalist Iulia Amineva in the final four. That's how TERESZCZAK did it.